Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Kurt, and welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. Woo! Had a little frog in the throat there, but look at this magical, wonderful panoramic vista that we have to start out the day. Panoramic and creepertastic out there. Neat. I should do this for all of my hidey holes, but then again, they would all need to be on the side of mountains. I could call them sidey holes. Hey! But anyway, welcome back to Far Lands or Bust. This is episode 554 of the series as we continue walking east-west, west in Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 to those far lands and raising money for Child's Play charity at farlandsorbust.com. Today, Thursday, January 21st, 2016, we are at $21,417.50. That's a whole $200 up from the last episode, so I do appreciate the continued donations coming in, rolling on in at farlandsorbust.com, helping get toys, books, games to kids in hospitals around the world, and helping to keep the journey ongoing, and the journey is in and of itself doing something more important than simply the journey itself. It is above and beyond our simple little journey, our little existence here. It is about more and more. Wolfie, would you mind? All right, well, I was going to go up there, but I guess I'll go up here. Whoops. Can I make this jump? Yes. All right. So yeah, continuing west. How are my boots doing? My boots are doing all right. I made these on episode 500, and they're down a quarter, it seems. Down a quarter oil. No, down a quarter durability. Might need some new pantalones soon. Pantalones indeed. But yeah, did I do all the... I think I did all the gist. That might have been the quickest gist I've ever... I'm not gonna... Yeah, all right. It almost sounded like another word, but I'll not go there. The quickest intro I've ever done. So let's talk about it and extend it a little bit further. But no, yeah, farlandsorbust.com, donate to Child's Play charity. Jibbity 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 jibbity. So we got some space news to start off this episode, and some not even related to spaceflight or SpaceX or realistically even NASA news. This is literal news about space and things in outer space, nearby, in the neighborhood, in the solar system space. But apparently, and I'm sure you've seen the headlines this morning, that a 9th planet has been found. We're not talking about Pluto. Pluto was the 9th planet until it was reclassified as a dwarf planet. And now there are technically 8 planets, Mercury through Neptune. But apparently a 9th planet has been found. And there's a bunch of course, very clickbaity, very... dramatic headlines and articles being written about it. But it is true that there is a potential 9th planet found way out there near the what is considered the edge of the solar system, out there in the Kuiper belt. Let me just first say, it hasn't been directly found. There are no images of it. We have not visually imaged it. We have not seen any, a dark planet, a mass, a shadow occulting any stars in the background. It has not been visually seen, or even... like with any other non-visual direct observations. Direct observations, that was the terminology I was looking for. There have been no direct observations of this potential, possible 9th planet. It has been calculated based on the observations of 13 known Kuiper Belt objects, about Pluto size or smaller. These icy bodies out there past the orbit of Pluto that have very strange, wide, and ecliptic orbits around the sun. Based on the orbits, the locations, the arrangement of these 13 other objects, they could... ooh, look at that. It's like a thing. I mean, it's like a... This could be a big mountain, but it's been eroded all underneath there. Neat. Let's go check that out. But yeah, it's been calculated, basically. Whoa! All right, that's one way to get down there pretty quick. It's been calculated based on these 13 objects, their orbits, the fact that they're kind of all similar. They're like in their same spots in their orbits. It's been theorized that it's been caused by, there must be another larger singular mass in this other orbit outside the Kuiper belt. Kuiper belt? Kuiper belt? Kuiper belt. It is kind of a French word, isn't it? And this is estimated to be this 9th planet. And they're not calling it a dwarf planet because, based on the calculations, it has to be between the size, or mass, excuse me, size notwithstanding, mass of Earth and Neptune. So that's a wide range. Smaller than Saturn and Jupiter, obviously, but between the size of Earth and Neptune, somewhere out there in the deep stretches of our solar system, this 9th planet could exist. So that's interesting, and this is the way we've discovered other planets. This is actually how we discovered Neptune. Nobody actually directly saw Neptune, and it was actually just calculated based on the orbits of the other planets that there must be something out there, and this must be where it is. And then they pointed telescopes at it, and bing, sure enough, there's Neptune. I think Neptune, either Neptune or Uranus, one of the two. But yeah, this is a way that planets have been discovered before, and this is actually the paper has been published. The lead scientist is Mike Brown, who's actually I've been following for a while on Twitter. He's actually, this is his area of expertise, these dwarf planets, these Kuiper belt objects, I think it's Kuiper belt objects. He actually discovered Eris, E-R-I-S, which is out there in the Kuiper belt, and it's larger than Pluto. And the discovery of Eris, you know, we're saying, okay, well, back then Pluto was a planet. Okay, we just discovered this other thing that's actually much larger than Pluto that's out there. Should that be a planet? Should that be the 10th planet? And it's actually the discovery of Eris and similar. I was going to get a picture of this thing, but that mountain's in the way. Similar objects that decided, well, wait a minute, we should maybe reclassify these things as dwarf planets, and then Pluto got reclassified as a dwarf planet. So he's taken on rather sarcastically the role of the guy who killed Pluto as a planet because he found Eris. So yeah, I mean, this is no like rando scientist or anything like that. This is his area of expertise, and he estimates that, like I said, we've not had any direct observations of this potential 9th planet out there. But he suspects, you know, they're already starting to, you know, they know where it should be in its orbit. But space is very large, so it takes a while to look. And even if it is between Earth and Neptunian size, it's still pretty difficult to see way out there at that distance. But yeah, he thinks, you know, if we point all the telescopes, we've already got telescopes in Hawaii, the really big telescopes, looking for it, and you know, doing little surveys in whatever time that they have free on those telescopes. He estimates that we should be able to observe it directly within the next 5 years. So science is kind of a, you know, slow thing. Wow, look at this! Sorry, this is some interesting terrain we've happened upon. This might be even the first time in Minecraft, myself, certainly the first time in Far Lands or Bust, we've seen a floating island suspended by the water upon which it flows out of it. Explain this, physics, you dang scientists. Magnets, how do they work? Neat. Well, I thought that other thing was going to be my thumbnail, but I have a feeling we just found a new one. All right, ooh, as the sun sets behind it. Quick, Wolfie, quick! Come over here, quick. Maybe I should sit you down right in front of the... Come on, quickly, the sun, picture time. Boop. All right, very good. Jolly good, jolly good. Oh, it's perfect, it's perfect. F1, F2, oh, I have no vertical space. My camera skills are not all that they can be. Wolfie, hey, over here. Yeah, you. Oh, he's looking at the sunset, I guess. Ah, dang. Here we go. Oh, that's actually even worse. All right, well, we'll choose amongst those, but this is neat. This is very neat, actually. I mean, it creates a very interesting effect. I'm easily amused. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to make the elevated hidey hole right underneath it. Not right underneath it. That actually might spoil the view. Let's do it right in line with the sun. There we go. Whoops. So yeah, that's exciting stuff. Certainly, you know, and this isn't Planet X. It's not going to intersect with the Earth and cause 2012 Armageddon or anything like that. This is well outside the orbits of both Pluto and Neptune, so there's no it has zero effects on Earth or our own lives. But interesting stuff to keep an eye out for in the next couple of years to see if you know, it could be confirmed or perhaps it can be misproven. Perhaps it can be explained some other way. Let's go to sleep. And floating islandsness. Oh, there's a pig up there. There's a pig up there. How did you get up there, pig? Is that a pig or is that like a creeper or something spawned up there? Yeah, there's a pig. Oh, get out of here, you screw. Get out. Yeah, that's right. You better bounce off my arrows. I like that pig. That pig's got some style. I was like, oh man, these creepers are actually going to kind of ruin my day. They're going to ruin my day. Right, leave the land as we left it, or found it, or whatever. Leave the land as you left it. And this is great. I like this. I like it a lot. All right, ooh. All right, careful, Wolfie. Hello, my friend. Oh, I gotta get a picture of the pig. Boop, boop, boop. Oh, that's gonna be an interesting one. A little bit of a... What's that called? When you jump in front of somebody's picture? There's a internet Web 2.0 term for it. A photobomb. Photobomb is what that's called. I might have to use that one. Neat. I liked that a lot. That was some interesting Minecraft Beta 1.7.3 terrain generation. Even stuff like this. You don't get many little tiny lakes like this in the current versions of the game. I should stop. I should really stop, like, criticizing the new versions of the game. It's not really what this series is about. We're simply nostalgic, that's all. Simply nostalgic for simpler times. You know, it's kind of interesting. Hello, again. I mentioned a couple episodes ago, actually maybe even last month, but our previous liaison between Farlands Bust and Child's Play Charity, Jamie, who goes by Calamity Jamie all over the internet, recently left that position and is going to be starting new ventures and whatnot. But in the meantime, she's been live streaming more, and she's actually been live streaming Minecraft, but she hasn't played Minecraft. This is the first time she's played Minecraft since, like, this version, beta. She says the last time she played Minecraft, she didn't even think there was armor, which is possible. There were those early, that must have been like beta or even alpha in the alpha versions when she played. So it's really interesting. She usually streams late at night when I'm like editing and stuff, so it's cool to have on in the background while I'm editing. It's just, it is kind of a nostalgic way to watch somebody play Minecraft as if it's the first time. Like, she encountered a witch for the first time and had no idea what it was. And as somebody who's been playing continually for the past 5-6 years, you look back at, like, the first time you encounter a creeper, or the first time you make another portal and are all nervous about stepping through, or the first time you dig your endless tunnel connecting your two bases, or the first time you die and you lose your base that you just spent all the time. And this was before maps and compasses, so you have no idea how to get back. Or even just the first time, you know, if you go back and watch... Maybe I should do that, get a little bit re-inspired. Watch X's adventures in Minecraft. You know, the first time he's playing, holing up for the first night, trying to figure out... Well, they just added bow and arrow to the game. I think you gotta dig this gravel stuff to get flint, but it's not giving me any flint. You know, all that stuff is just a little bit... The first time he found a spawner, it was an underwater spawner, I believe. He heard a bunch of spiders, and he's like, oh, I've heard about these things. These spawner dungeons, they have chests with loot in them. And little spawners that just keep spawning bad guys without it being light, you know, dark or you know, whatever, nighttime. So there's a little bit of nostalgia there. So I felt a little bit of that watching Jamie's stream, which she's been doing, like I said, pretty frequently in between her her career directional situations that she's doing now. But yeah, just maybe think about that when we're looking. That's what this series kind of is. I mean, we know pretty much everything about the current game. It still surprises us. Suddenly a golden apple will be found, or, you know, what other... A floating island suspended by... Okay, that tree died. Suspended by a water column, you know, or this. Like, what is this going to be? We'll have to find out as it loads in. It's not loaded in, but it's going to be loaded in. Is it loaded in? Oh, okay. I'm like, that would be really weird if that was loaded in. So yeah, we're gonna check this place out. Awesome, man. Totally awesome. So yeah. Cool stuff indeed. Let's, speaking of nostalgia, answer some questions. Not the questions, just this question in particular is theoretically looking at nostalgia. Answer some questions from donors to Child's Play charity. This one is anonymous. What would 10-year-old Kurt J. Mac think of current Kurt J. Mac? I'm pretty sure 10-year-old Cone Dodger would be a little upset about the lack of current Cone Dodger being a pro race driver. I don't think this was a question from Cone Dodger, because it wasn't, unless he's just speaking in the third person here. But yeah, yeah, I don't know. I can't even put myself in those shoes. Like, for instance, your favorite Farlander nephew Goober is actually now, if you remember, I recorded that video when he was 7. He's now about that age, about 10. Ow! Oh, I thought that was like a zombie that touched me or something. That was just a bad step. And I can't even put myself, like, I'm trying to think, what was I doing at that age, or thinking, and I honestly have no idea. I mean, it's... I don't know. I was probably very concerned because I just got braces, and that's an incredibly frustrating experience, as I've mentioned many times. The whole braces orthodonty experience for Kurt J. Mac was not a pleasant one at all. Nor do I think they're ever pleasant for anybody involved, but especially not pleasant to me. So yeah, I don't know what he certainly, you know, I was playing video games back then. Nintendo, your standard NES systems or whatever. So it would obviously be quite a shock that somebody could grow up to then start to play video games for a living. I mean, even back then, the internet existed, air quotes, but it didn't certainly exist. It certainly wasn't something we had until probably almost 9 years later. We were a little bit, we were late adopters. Oh, speaking of spawners, I see it, so I gotta explore it, even though it's not open to the world. All right, this one actually might be a little bit dangerous. Wolfie, have a seat. Let's get some blocks in the bar. I gotta actually bridge over to this one. Uh-oh, hello. All right, the block offset is making this a difficult challenge indeed. All right, let's make sure we're safe-ish from that angle. What you got, guys? Oh, you got 2 spawners. That'd be hilarious if there was a golden apple in here, right? I can't place blocks. All right, let's do this strategically. Hey, guy. It takes 3 hits to kill a zombie with an iron sword. Alright, I think I got it all figured out. What do we got? Oh, a bunch of iron. I'll take it. I could theoretically make a TNT situation. Oh, wow, at all the iron. Yeah, I can make a TNT situation. And a couple saddles. No golden apples, but, oh well. Let's get rid of some stuff we don't need. Feathers. Pink wool. No, just kidding. Golden apple. Yeah, I guess we can have some fun with some TNT a bit later. Alright, yeah, neat. I feel like allowing them the freedom. This is dangerous, this is dangerous. Ah, it's dangerous! Run away! Alright. Come on, Wolfie. Well, that was fun. That was a little bit of a unique one. Oops, I left a couple torches in there. Oh well. But yeah, I don't know. I honestly couldn't say. I don't know, when I was like 10 years old, I probably wanted to be like a fireman or something. Or a baseball player even, which is strange considering my current lack of real knowledge or involvement or interest in sports. That might have been, yeah, I mean, 10 years old is kind of about the age of going into middle school, so that was about when I was getting into airplanes and the Air Force and stuff like that, jets. Yeah, but even, I think that's about, when the original Jurassic Park came out, I became a dinosaur aficionado and wanted to become a paleontologist, clearly. That obviously didn't happen at all, but, yeah, I honestly, I don't know. It's really difficult for me to put myself... Careful, Wolfie. You just walked on air, my friend. All right, let's make the elevated hidey hole here. So yeah, it's really hard for me to put myself in it's hard for me to put myself in my shoes 6 years ago, let alone 26 years ago or whatever. So yeah, I don't know. That's one of those tough questions. That's difficult. You know, you can't ask your past self. You're not in the same mindset. You're not in the same brain space or whatever. But we're gonna go to sleep and continue walking in the morning. Ooh, it's still light over there. That's a bright moon. And awakeness. Watch your stepness. Ooh, I got it. Alright. Alright, this is apparently a floating slab of dirt that we found ourselves upon. Let's maybe be a little bit resourceful. Oh, this was a bad idea. This was the opposite of resourceful. Careful, Wolfie, careful, Wolfie. Ah, Wolfie. Oh, Wolfie! Alright, let's make like a tree and get out of here. They're coming through the trees! Yoink. Alright. Well, that was a mildly successful attempt at that. Alright, so another question here from the Ghost of Sabotage asks, what is the habit you are proudest of or want to break? Can they both be the same thing? No, I don't know. I'm not really a proud person by nature. Like, I'm not like the opposite of proud, but I'm also not like, I don't feel like, look at me, or I'm great, you know, or anything like that. I'm not prideful or boastful or anything like that. So, I mean, I guess I eat, like, okay. Like, I don't eat junk or, you know, sometimes, not to judge, but sometimes I see what some certain people eat, just in general, just general people, not like anybody in specific. And it's kind of like, ugh, how do you continue to pump blood through your veins or whatever? So I think I eat well, and that's kind of just a habit. I've gotten into. We weren't really big foodie a foodie family growing up or anything like that. I mean, a lot of home-cooked meals, and if we did go out, it was rather the generic American stuff. Didn't do too much fast food. It was kind of like just a random treat, or if parents were too running late to fix up anything. Not really that much into the fast food. I think in general, both my parents, specifically my dad, have traditional tastes in foods, as in not trying anything too exotic, or like I said, what would be considered like foodie stuff, or both on the sweets and dessert sides of things, but also just food in general. Like, my dad is very much American food, if you can call it that. You know, your burgers, your steaks, your I mean, as far into Italian food as he'll go is just your standard spaghetti and meatballs. Certainly, there's no Chinese food or Asian foods involved in that. Look at this tea. Whoa. Look at this. We're being greeted by some crazy things. I want to like take all these things and make them screenshots. Got this random tea here. I could knock it down, but I kind of want to leave it. The old tea. We found the tea. We found the tea. Now we got to find the KUR. Oh man, that's good times. I like that. Oh, we got more floating bits over here. Floaty bits. Woof. Wolfie likes the floaty bits. Kibbles and bits. So yeah, I guess from that, I mean, I try a little bit more nowadays. I'll branch out and try something unique or different, or I'll try some Spanish tapas or other things. Yeah, you know, I don't know, some sort of pasta or a different kind of pizza with different toppings that aren't your standard pepperoni and sausage or what, you know. But just in general, I think I'm pretty proud of my ability to remain healthy based on diet. Could probably use a little bit more activity. You know, I always thought, oh, maybe I should go to a gym or do this, that, or the other, or, you know. But, yeah, I should probably get out and hike or whatever more. Find some sort of physical activity hobby that I could get into regularly. I don't know, I'm just not huge. I could theoretically see myself biking, but I'm not huge on biking. The stuff that requires you to have other stuff is there's a hurdle there. Same thing with like kayaking would be interesting, but hey, or even like mountain climbing would be interesting, but then you gotta have like equipment and tools. Hiking is pretty simple because all you really need is boots and your basic backpack and water. And as long as you're sticking to just your standard day hikes, you'll be all right. So hiking has that low boundary of entry. But yeah, what habit would I want to break? I mean, everybody has little tics or annoyances that they'd like to change, so I don't think I want to start to bring everybody down and get into that list. Yeah, okay, yeah, sure, why not? Let's go with that. Thanks for the question and donation. The Ghost of Sabotage. Is this the first time we're using a boat today? I think it is. Oh, don't forget, I gotta make some TNT. Are we gonna do that this episode? Should we whoops? Should we do it next episode for episode 555? Maybe we should hold off for some explosions in the next episode. Let's see here. Oh, speaking of food, hey, look at theme questions. Am I going the right way? Yeah, all right. We got a question here from Scorpinan Man 42. I was wondering if you like to cook. What is your favorite dish to cook? If not, what is your favorite dish to eat at the restaurants? I heard your dad went into the restaurant and ate everything in the restaurant, and then they had to close the restaurant. Oh, Simpsons. Do I like to cook? It's not one of my hobbies. I don't suppose I don't go on Pinterest and see a bunch of recipes. I don't know why I've developed a list. This is my Pinterest voice. I don't look up some crazy recipes to make or this, that, or the other. I stick with the basics. Your stir fries is something new that I've been doing a lot of. Just chop up a bunch of junk and throw it in a big old wok that I have and stir fry it up with some rice. But yeah, I do. I cook. I don't mind cooking, but I don't like cook. I don't. Ooh, let's get this salmon thing and put it on a cedar plank. I like to cook. I kind of like to cook out. There's a little bit of a hassle regarding that, I guess. But cooking out on the grill, I suppose some people think it's like the opposite of a hassle because you're not in the kitchen or whatever, but I don't know. There's some preparation and setup time and very specific foods. Baking is all right too. I did a carrot cake. There's a gluten-free carrot cake mix I was given, and I actually had to buy carrots and shave them down with one of those cheese grater boards or whatever. That was a little bit more intense. I was hoping I could can you just buy the carrot shavings? You might be able to, but I personally couldn't find them. There's little matchstick carrots, but those are too big for carrot cake. That turned out all right. Baking is all right. What is your favorite food at restaurants? It depends on the restaurant, really. I've had, it's always nice to find a really good burger. I did mention that for my last birthday, my dad was in town, and we did go to a steakhouse, speaking of American food and steak, and their specialty at this particular place was plastered all over the menu that it was the ribeye, and I've never had ribeye. I always just kind of stick with the safe, I'll get the sirloin or filet or whatever, but ribeye. So I'm like, all right, I'll try the ribeye. I'd never had it before, and that was probably the best steak that I've ever had of anything. And, the ribeye is a lot more tender and fatty and juicy, and they prepare it super rare. And but that was excellent. So that was probably, in the last year, probably one of the best meals I could think of that I've had. And then since then, now when I go to steak places, I always start to look at their ribeyes first, as opposed to the standard standbys. The standbys, not the ribeyes. The ribeyes. So yeah, no, but I don't have a favorite per se. Like I said, don't go to too many fancy places. Can't really, with the gluten-free situation, can't really try too much. I did like Italian places and whatever, but that really limits me now. I mean, there are places that, there are Italian places that, yeah, we have the gluten-free noodles, just we'll substitute it for whatever you want, but then it's always some weird, it's the weird spiral noodle. It's not like a spaghetti or I like the stringy noodles, the angel hair, your standard long, tiny cylindrical tube pasta. I don't know if there's a particular category of pasta to put that in, but usually when you go to a restaurant and you get a gluten-free pasta, it's usually the bow ties or the spirals or something like that. I'm trying to think, is there nowhere around here? If I was over there, I could, to get a panoramic window. Dang it! I did not set this up properly. Oh well, I guess no window tonight. I'm getting spoiled. It's like somebody who travels first class and then can't travel coach anymore. But yeah, I think that wraps that up. And I do believe the next question is not about food, so that's all right for the next episode. We don't have to stick with a theme. But keep going to farlandsorbust.com. Oops. To donate to Child's Play charity. I did not mean to break that block. My mouse seems off, not accurate. I could have accidentally... Did I press the sensitivity button? No. All right. I might have... That might have been the problem. I might have plugged it into the wrong USB port, because I did unplug it and plug it into the new computer to get that up and running. So maybe that's what I did. I need to have a diagram of what goes into what USB port. What was I saying? Yeah, farlandsorbust.com. Keep donating to Child's Play charity. Help us get to that $60,000 goal for season 6. And look. Yeah, look at this. Sorry, I just started the episode by saying we shouldn't be bad-mouthing the new versions of the game, but I had a problem yesterday in Twitch Tuesday doing the Minecraft bingo and also the UHCs because I kept misclicking. Like, you know, you click buttons and you're like, oh, I want to put this in here, but then it like pops out and it doesn't go where you think it's going to go. I'm doing fine here in this version, so they definitely indeed changed something. And I swear it has to be when they added the touchscreen controls to the game. Careful with that now. And I feel like ever since that update, whatever update it was like 1.2 full release or 1.3 or something like that. I remember that happening and like being suddenly like, what? Something's screwy with my clicking here. But yeah, it's so easy in this version. See, I like completely missed the box there, and it still went in. Yeah, I clicked way out here. Yeah, how close can you click? Oh, you just have to hit the border and it goes in. Yeah, now there's only like a 5 little pixel radius that you can click. If you like click over here, it'll go nowhere. Huh. Yeah, something changed. Something changed, I tell you. And maybe it's just because I play Far Lands of Bust, I'm used to this version or whatever, but something ain't right. Something ain't right with that boy. So, yeah. FarlandsofBust.com. That's about the 4th time I've mentioned that in the last 3 minutes. What was I going to say? If you're a patron of mine in the patron server tier, keep an eye on the patron posts, because I am going to post some stuff there. I did get a server. I just have to kind of set it up to get it up and running, and we're going to run some tests definitely at first, so like you guys get to help me out with testing it and whatever, so keep an eye on that stuff, and I appreciate that support there, and I appreciate you appreciating this episode of Far Lands of Bust. I'm assuming if you've gotten this far through all of my ramblings that you appreciate it, and I appreciate that. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Kurt. I will see you next time. Wow, look at this.